Welcome to the Python tutorial. Today we are going to talk about modules in Python. Modules in Python are simply Python files with .py extension which contains a set of function, which means that your module file will always contain different function and these functions are used in another file. We use module to break down large program into small manageable files. So we define our most used function in a module and we import it by using import keyword. So now let's move to the examples of modules. Here I just opened a folder which is an empty folder, and now I'm gonna create a module file inside this folder. So for that I created a module file which named is tuna.py, and now I'm going to create a function inside this module. So for that we have to use a keyword def. Inside that I'll give the name of the function which is first, and inside the function I'll simply print a string which is I am from module. Just save this function, and now I'm going to create another file which is an original file. We can give any name to this original file. Here I just created a module file and a original file. Original file is used to call the module, or we can say that call the function from this module which is tuna.py. And now I'm going to use a import keyword to import the function from this module. So here I'm going to simply import the module first, which is tuna. This is our name of the module, and after that I'll simply call the function by using the name of the module which is tuna.first. We'll simply run this module. We get the result I am from module. So this is a method when we call the modules in same directory. So we have another method to import a module in different directory. So if you want to access your module file in any directories or different directory, then we have to create the module in the site packages. Site packages is located in our Python installed directory. I'm gonna open a Python installed directory here in local drive C. In local drive C, user, name of the user, insert that app data in local, after that program, then Python, then 3532. Here we just open our Python installed directory, and inside that we have a folder called lib, and inside the lib we have a site packages folder. So here I just open a site packages folder, and inside that I'm gonna create a module file. So here I'm gonna create a module file named module first.py. Inside this module file I'm going to create a simple function which returns some string. I am from site packages. Here we save this function inside this module. So here we have a module called module first, and inside the module we have a function named hello. And now I'm gonna call this module from another directory. So here we just go to the document folder, and now I'm gonna create a original file which is python module.py, and inside this original file I'm gonna call the module using import keyword, import module, module first, and now I'm gonna call the function which we had created in the module, which is hello. Have we run this module? We get the result, which is I am from site package. So this is our another method when you call the module from another directory. One more thing, when you create a module in our site packages, then you can call the module in any directories in your computer. So this is all about modules in Python. Welcome to the Python tutorial. Today we are going to talk about exception in Python. An exception is a event which occur during the execution of a program, or we can say an exception is a error which can be handled by the programmer. The exception which are already available in the Python are called a built-in exception. One more thing, don't confuse between the error and the exception, because error and exceptions are not the same. Suppose if the programmer can guess an error in the program and he can do something to eliminate the error, then it is called an exception. If the programmer cannot do anything in case of error, then it is called an error, not an exception. A programmer can create his own exception called user-defined exception. Now let's move to the example where we can see how exception occur. So first, let's understand about a syntax error and how it is different from exception, because sometimes we confuse between syntax error and a exception error. So let's move to the examples. Here I opened a Python script, and after that I'll create two files, one for syntax error and the second for exception. So first I'm going to create a program where we can see what is a syntax error. So first I'm going to simply take a input, give some values. So here we can see this is a input which is stored in the variable x. So after that I'll simply print the values of x. Here we run this module. Here we can see we get a result, give some values. If I put 12, then we get the 12 result. So what is the syntax error in this program? When I change this input to input, then here we can see we get a syntax error in this program. So this is a syntax error. And now I'm gonna tell you what is a exception. So first I'm gonna again take a input, enter some values, and this input is a integer type, and after that I'll simply print a value of x. So this integer input will stored in this x variable, and this x variable is printed. Now run this module. Here we can see the program is correctly run, and after that I'll simply put 23, then we get the 23 result. Now I'm gonna run this program again, and in this I'm gonna simply type hello, which is a string. We get a value error. So these errors are exception error, which means that these errors can be handled by a programmer. So this is a difference between a syntax error and a exception error. Syntax error can't handled by a programmer, but a exception can be handled by a programmer. In this video I'm gonna teach you how to handle the exception. So why we need to handle the exception? Because The purpose of handling the exception is to make the program robust. Robust means strong. A robust program does not terminate in the middle. So now let's move to the examples. Before going to write some example, we need to know what are the steps followed to handle the exception. So the first step is a try block. Try block means when there may be a possibility of exception in the program, then programmer will put all the code in the try block. The second step is a except block. The programmer should write the except block where he should display the exception detail or a custom message. The third one is a finally. Finally block is written in the last, and the finally block are used to execute a final program whether there is an exception or not. So now let's move to the example to understand the exception handling. Here I just opened a Python shell, and now I'm gonna create a simple program to show you how to handle the exception. So now, as I already said, the code should be keep inside the try block. So here I simply want to print something. Write something, and after that, as I already said, the second step is a except. It will print some message if the code is incorrect inside the try block. Please write something correctly. Okay, and now I'm gonna run this module. So here I'm gonna simply write something which is hello world. Here we did not get any error, and now I'm gonna change something inside this. Just remove this n character inside the input method. So this input method is incorrect, and now I'm gonna run this module. So here we get a except message, please write something correctly. We did not get any error message because the except will simply show you the user defined message. Now I'm gonna simply print this module again. We get the exact result, which is, so this is a try block and this is the except block. And now I'm gonna create a simple example to understand the exception handling more. And now I'm gonna use a while loop. After that I'll put true, and inside the while loop we're gonna declare try block and the except block. So inside the try block it will take some input, which is input write something. After that it will break the try block if the input is correct. Inside the except block, please write correctly. So now I'm gonna change this input in int typo. So here this variable only accept a integer value. And now I'm gonna run this module. Here you can say the program is executed correctly, and now I'm gonna write something 90, so it will accept a integer. And now we run this module again. Hello, here you can see please write correctly. This except block will show a message, please write correctly. After that if I type again some string, we get again a message, please write correctly. So until it will get a integer, then it will correct the process. So this is a absolute example to understand a try block and a except block. And now we are going to use a finally block inside this program. It will simply print a message which is over, which means that this final block will not depend on this except and this try block. Whenever we type a integer value, here we can see the finally block is executed. And now if I give some different value which is a string, so here we can see this is a accept message and this is a final message. So here we can see the final message will not depend on this accept and this try block. If your try block is right or wrong, this finally statement will print at the end. So this is a optional inside the exception. So if you want to print something at the last, then we use a finally block, or if you want to execute something in the last, then we have to use a final block. So this is all about a exception in Python.